In a peaceful little village, there lived an old woman named Mary who lived alone. However, she never felt lonely because she was always loved and visited by her neighbors. Mary was well known for her kind heart and willingness to help others. In return for her kindness, the villagers often brought her food and essential supplies, making her life simple but warm and fulfilling. One chilly autumn morning, Mary decided to go into the forest to gather firewood. While wandering deep in the woods, she accidentally discovered a large, old pot partially buried under moist soil. Out of curiosity, she brushed away the dirt and opened the lid. To her surprise, the pot was filled with glittering gold coins. Her heart leapt with joy. She began to imagine a new life full of comfort and convenience, living in a big, beautiful house, sitting beside a luxurious fireplace. However, her joy was quickly challenged when she realized the pot was too heavy to carry alone. Refusing to give up, Mary cleverly made a makeshift sled from wooden planks and a strong cloth to drag the pot home, thus beginning a strenuous journey filled with meaning about choice and happiness. Mary started pulling the pot full of gold back home using her homemade sled. Though exhausted, she remained hopeful, envisioning a prosperous life ahead. But as she paused to rest, she noticed something strange. The gold coins had turned to silver. She felt a sudden pang of disappointment. Still, she comforted herself, thinking silver was still valuable and could provide a comfortable life. She continued her journey, dreaming of a cozy home with a warm fireplace. However, when she checked again, the silver had turned into iron. A wave of despair overcame her. All her dreams of wealth seemed to vanish. Instead of shiny gold, all she had now were chunks of worthless metal. Yet in that moment, Mary did not give up. She stopped, took a deep breath, and smiled. She realized that before finding the pot, she had already lived a simple but joyful life, surrounded by love from her neighbors, sharing meals, and feeling the warmth of community. Mary understood that happiness does not come from material wealth but from contentment and genuine human connection. In the end, she chose to leave the pot behind in the forest and return to her beloved little home, the place that truly brought her peace and genuine happiness. When Mary arrived back home, she felt no regret about leaving the pot full of iron behind. Instead, she felt lighthearted and at peace. She clearly understood that the most precious things in life weren't gold or silver, but the simple joys, like a warm home, intimate meals with neighbors, and sincere gratitude between people. That evening, Mary sat in her familiar old chair beside a lit fireplace. The gentle flames not only warmed the room but also soothed the restless thoughts in her heart. She recalled joyful moments helping others, listening to everyday stories from neighbors, or receiving a hot pie on a cold winter day. Those seemingly small things brought deep happiness, far beyond what any treasure could offer. From that day on, Mary lived with a heart full of gratitude. She continued to help the villagers as she always had, despite not owning a single gold coin. In return, she received abundant love, respect, and trust from those around her. Her joyful spirit shone every time someone knocked on her door, whether for advice or just to have a chat. Mary no longer wished for a life of wealth. She had found something far more valuable: inner happiness, contentment with what she had, and meaningful relationships. She understood that life could change unexpectedly, gold could turn to silver, silver to iron, but as long as she kept a grateful heart and a positive spirit, she would always be the richest person of all. Mary's story gradually spread throughout the village, becoming a life lesson for many. Whenever someone complained about life, they remembered Mary's calm smile, the woman who gave up treasure to keep what truly mattered. Her example reminded everyone that happiness doesn't lie in what we possess, but in how we perceive and cherish the life we live. Mary, the woman of deep compassion, lived her entire life in serenity and joy, richer than anyone who ever owned a pot of gold. Mary's story not only teaches us about happiness but also helps English learners expand their vocabulary in a vivid and relatable way. After the story ends, the narrator explains several key words that appeared throughout. These words are tied to Mary's emotions, actions, and thoughts, helping learners understand vocabulary through real context. The first word is astonishment, meaning great surprise, the emotion Mary felt when she saw the pot of gold. Next is makeshift, a temporary solution, like the sled Mary built from wooden planks. Words like reassuring and despair reflect her psychological journey as the gold turned into silver, then into iron. Content, meaning being satisfied with what you have, shows Mary's shift in mindset, from desiring wealth to feeling at peace with a simple life. Serene means peaceful, used to describe the forest where Mary found the pot. Resourcefulness represents her cleverness and creativity in facing challenges. Other emotional words include pang, a sudden sharp feeling of regret, when Mary saw only iron, and gratitude, which Mary held in her heart for her neighbor's care. Lastly, reassurance reflects how Mary continuously comforted herself during her journey. This combination of storytelling and vocabulary learning creates a rich and emotional language experience. The story not only helps learners understand English better but also inspires them to live positively, love deeply, share genuinely, and treasure the simple things around them.